Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Random Review Series, DBougie86 here again. Yes, guys, it's that time again. This is actually a requested review. Actually, if you watched my update video, I asked which type of movies you would like to see me review, and I forget who actually asked for this, but I know somebody in the comments did ask if I could review this film, and I decided why not. I wanted to check it out anyways. And this is a film from 1976 and is titled The Tenant. Yes, this is written and directed and starring Roman Polanski. He actually stars in this one. Roman Polanski plays this character, Tralkowski, who ends up finding out about this apartment that's being you could actually go there and pay for it. You know what I mean? And Tralkowski goes there and he finds out the old tenant that lived in this building was this woman named Simone, who attempted to commit suicide. Pretty much, she's on her deathbed, and actually, when we find out, Tralkowski actually gets kind of like obsessed with like the idea that somebody tried to kill themselves in this apartment. So what ends up happening in the next scene after he meets with the owner of the apartment is he ends up going to like see like the girl herself in the hospital, and she ends up dying right there. You know what I mean? She gives her last breath, and then he ends up kind of getting like friendly with like one of her like friends in a way, Stella, who's played by Isabella Adjani, and they start off like a fling type deal, but he gets kind of obsessed with like the apartment itself and the history of the apartment, and then a lot of crazy weird things start happening, like per se like the other occupants of this apartment complex end up becoming kind of like hostile towards him, and and he becomes like very detached from the rest of the apartment building, including like the other tenants and like the main like owner and like the main person downstairs, played by Shelley Winters. Uh, it's a very interesting like way to do this one because he ends up going into like a psychological break pretty much from all the shit that's happened with him trying to figure out what happened to Simone, and also just like all the backstabbing that's going on inside the apartment complex kind of compels together into the finale of the film. Now, I'm not going to spoil the ending of this movie for you, but that's pretty much the gist of what's going on. He becomes like the mystery and trying to solve it, and he's kind of going into his own like psychosis in a way, and kind of going a little insane as the film progresses. That's pretty much the gist of what's going on in this one. My thoughts on the film: super well shot. Like from the opening shot, you could tell like this is going to be like a haunted, atmospheric film, and it is. It is a slow burn movie because it's pretty much one character studying like his psychosis, pretty much. And Roman Polanski as an actor actually is a phenomenal actor in this film. He's tremendous, especially with the way his character develops within the film. You see like his character change from when you first meet him to the very end of the film. It's very like a high string performance in a way. There's a great scene that happens in a park near like this like there's a bunch of kids with like these little like sailboats in like this pond area, and that scene's powerful. I'm not going to tell you what happens in that scene because I want you to see this movie, because there's a lot of things that if you kind of give what's going on away with the very like plot of it and the gist of like what's going on within the ending, it's a very well thought off story. You know what I mean? And it turns you into like the curves, and there's a lot of like haunted images as the film progresses, and some fucked up shit. The performances are great. Like I said, like all the side characters, like Isabella Adjani's character, Melvin Douglas plays the owner of the apartment complex. Shelley Winters as the mysterious concierge. All do a tremendous job in the film. Really great setting because this film takes place in France, and there's a lot of like great scenery and stuff. And weird like aspect of it is What was I gonna say? Like, there's this one weird scene that involves a movie theater and Enter the Dragon. Yes, that scene was like really, like really cool. And then, like, of course, if you did see this movie before, you know about like what happens to Polanski's character, like in the middle of the movie, and you're like, okay, you can see like it going. This is definitely one that will benefit from rewatches because after you know what the ending's gonna be, you can see like hints and like little Easter eggs and like little tendons of like the mystery unfold, and you can find out other stuff that happens with it. That's what I love about slow burn movies. There's a lot of things that you could have missed when they first started, and you could see them like later on, like on rewatch, which I love. You know what I mean? It's really good stuff, and yeah, this is one you have to see. Of course, this is part of like the Apartment trilogy. I believe that's what it's called. Like the Repulsion, Rosemary's Baby, and the Tenant are all part of like this in name only trilogy. It's kind of like Carpenter's like what's the name of that they use it? I can't think of the word off the top of my head, but if you know what I'm talking about, then you know. Like it's kind of like that. They all are connected by like they all take place in like apartments and stuff like that, which is cool. You know what I mean? They're all different stories and don't have like a continuity in like a regular like trilogy would. But it's cool that like he had like this idea to do like these contained like psychological aspect horror films, which are awesome, all of them, and all of them have their own like different tints and themes and different ideas and different characters and really well as well. If I had to rate The Tenant, I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10. Like I said, there's a few things on first time watch that I want to check out. It's a very well made film, very well acted, very well shot. But the aspect of like putting like pieces of puzzles together, I think will make this film a perfect film for me on rewatch. You know what I mean? So yeah, 9.5 out of 10 for The Tenant. Awesome shit. Yeah, this is because this is actually one that I might have seen as a kid, and I do remember glimpses of it as I was watching it, but I couldn't really fully grasp it, so it was kind of like a first time watch in a way again. And this is one of the ones I least watch out of like all three of the films. So that's another reason why. So yeah, awesome film still. All right, guys, that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back sooner than later with another one for you guys. Maybe I'll get one popping for you next week. So I'll see you then. Peace out.